The 2001 Taurus has left me stranded. Of course, a good old Walmart today. When I turn the key, all I get is click, 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 click. And I checked all my grounds, couldn't find anything wrong. I double checked everything, so I went ahead and pulled the starter off, brought some tools, brought my little jack, and my sockets, and I couldn't find anything really wrong. Checked the distribution box. Slid this little piece up here on the side where it says fuses and all that good stuff. No problem. So last resort, pulled the starter off, and there it is. And of course, turns out to be the starter. It's tries to go, but it doesn't want to do anything. I've got my cables here, and I've got it hooked up to the battery and everything. And just to give you an idea, I'll hook the cables back up and I'll show you what I mean. Let's see, there's my ground cable. Ground the starter, ground side. And I'll take my hot cable and I'll just touch the bottom of this piece here. And of course it doesn't do anything, but if I hit the starter, it tries to run. So it's definitely got some issues. And there's barely running at all. It's dragging. So looks like I'm going to need a starter. So if you have a Taurus or a Ford that is doing that, just clicking, you might want to check your wires first before you pull the starter off. Check all your grounds. The Ford Explorer I had a ground going to the bottom of the power steering pump, which I made a video on. It was loose. Took care of the problem, but since this car is kind of small, doesn't have a lot up front to worry about and work on wire-wise. I checked, like I said, I checked everything. Couldn't find anything, but so much for that. So I guess I'll go out and get a starter today. It's done this a couple of times. It did this about 2 weeks ago when I first let it sit for a while, and I went up here, bought a brand new battery for it, and it wouldn't start. Then I took the battery off, put another battery on, then it started right up, and I couldn't figure it out. I thought, something's wrong, it's not right, so I figured I'll drive it a while. And it didn't do anything for 2 weeks until today. It just, nothing, wouldn't start at all. Just click, click, click. So you never know about these starters when they're gonna get bad or anything. So there you go. So maybe I'll give you guys an update later, but looks like I'm off to buy a starter today. At least it's not raining now. About 85 degrees, 200% humidity out here. But real easy to take off. It only has 3 bolts. One of the bolts on the bottom, very easy to take off. The other 2 are up on the top. One is right there. Actually, you know what? There's only 2 bolts in this. There's one on the bottom and one on the very, very top right there. So it kind of sits like that. So when you're looking at it, you have to look at it like this. And underneath, you can get the bottom bolt. Then up on top, just put your socket down in there and you can kind of break it loose. And here is the top bolt for the starter. And I took out this big bolt here for the that goes above the that was above the starter, that goes into the transmission and the block. I don't know why I took that out. I thought it was a starter bolt, but turns out it's not a starter bolt. So I'll put that back in. And let's see. There's my ground wire that was hooked to the block, and there's the nut for it. And that wire actually goes right there. Just kind of sits there. I don't have my camera on automatic focus, so I can't really zoom in, and I'll show you underneath. I got jacked up just about 4 or 5 inches, and there's where the starter bolt's on to. Right there. Pretty easy to get to. And there are my other bolts. You got a little tiny 10 millimeter that goes on the solenoid. Then you got this other 13 that bolts on the hot wire that goes to the starter, and there's the bottom 13 millimeter bolt that goes into the starter, and the little dust cover that goes on the back of the starter. So I'm just going to kind of let that hang down and for now and go pick up a starter somewhere. I'm not sure if I'll buy a new one. A new one's going to be about 150 bucks. If I order one online, it's going to be $49 remanufactured. If I go to the local junkyard, probably 40 bucks. But if I want this done today, I might just go to a local junkyard and pick up one and get it over with. All right, ask the luck, draw the luck, or luck of the draw, whatever they call it. All right, later peeps, maybe an update later. Okay, I'm back. Update, I got me another starter. I went to the local junkyard and picked up one for 25 bucks, and I want to show you how a starter is supposed to work. You ground this, and if I touch this back part with the hot wire, the starter kicks right on. Here we go. Okay, that's a good starter. So now all I have to do is put that on there, the ground, and I'm going to touch these two there, make sure that solenoid is kicking in. Sorry, I have to go over here and get my screwdriver. All I got to do is short this out. Okay, that's good. So, actually, I need to go on this side. There we go, see? That, my friend, is a good starter. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on. So that was my problem, the starter. So I got lucky, I got the car up in the air. And it looks like it might rain again, so I gotta hurry up and get this together. So I'll put this on and we'll start it up here and make sure it's gonna run okay. So you guys will have some idea if you have this issue. Okay, I got the starter on, pretty easy to do. Got all my grounds hooked up there. So now we'll go in here. I got my battery cable on. Go in here and see if it'll start. Hopefully this take care of it. Okay. Yep, there we go. Started the whole time. I got a squeaky belt, but yep. So I'm glad that's over. Do it again. It even sounds better. The other starter was dragging the whole time. So apparently my starter was bad. So if you have this issue with your car not starting, your Taurus, or even some of the other Ford vehicles, kind of check your starter. It's probably the first thing that's going to go out. But also check your wires. You never know. Alright, well that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching everybody, and good luck if you have this problem, and I guess I'll end up cleaning it up and taking it for a ride.